I was at a burial of an old man someday. And for the first time, you go to burials, you don't really listen to what they're saying. This day I listened. I was there in the church, finding someone about eternity. And then we got to the cemetery and they lowered the casket. A very serene atmosphere. We were also quiet. It's like we were afraid of waking the dead. Lowered the man there, and I heard the preacher said, as they start to pour sand upon the coffin, say, for dust thou art, and to dust shall thou return. He was reading something that said, dust to dust. That touched me. Is that all we are? I quickly went to my Bible and I discovered it's in Genesis chapter 3. I think it's in verse 19. When God in his anger spoke against man. He said, for out of dust you came, and unto dust shall thou return. It's a statement of God in anger. When I got home, I told my children, I said, boys, when I die, and I hope it's going to be long, I want to use the whole of my 120 years. If I'm still useful to God, I want to stay here. I told them, if I die, I don't want you to bury me dust to dust. Because if my life is dust to dust, I will not think it's a good life. Dust to dust means useless to me. I think it changed. I don't think God wants us to be dust to dust anymore. For that was not it in the original. In the original, it did not intend dust to dust. And since Christ came back, since he came and he died and his life gave us salvation, then our life must be worth something. I kept on asking myself, is this best of me? Is this all I am? Can I do better? Is there a place for improvement? When is a man really dust to dust? When he lives and he dies and he left no impact. I go through it again. A man who truly died dust to dust is a man who came into the world, lived, died, concluded his sojourn on earth, and is leaving nothing behind. And I'm not talking of houses for they will be lost. I'm not talking of money for they will be spent. I'm talking of a mark, a particular mark in life upon mankind. Such men you can't say dust to dust. Even when they have left, the works of their hand will still be speaking. I want to challenge you, my listener, to try and not live dust to dust. Dust to dust is a curse. Dust to dust is you wake up in the morning, you eat, there's no purpose, you go through the drudgery of life, walking by the principle of walking, one leg forward, the other behind, in continuous motion. Going where? Maybe you don't know, but you better know. Doing what? Maybe you don't know, but you better know. Life has a purpose. When that purpose is fulfilled, such a life is not dust to dust. But if there's no purpose, it's just the common life of man, getting married at a particular age, bringing forth children, and then growing to old age and dying and being buried in an unknown grave, having done nothing for mankind. That indeed is dust to dust. I refuse to die dust to dust. So I'll keep on preaching until all we should hear have heard. God bless you.